Hello everybody. So we've seen in recent times across the Western world, particularly in Ireland and other countries too, heinous crimes that nobody in the right mind, nobody in the world could ever imagine somebody do something like that to children, to innocent people, to innocent vulnerable children, or take for example to elderly people that can't defend themselves, who are elderly vulnerable people. And in Ireland, we see it hundreds every day of the week. There's a case on Twitter. If you just open Twitter now and look at Twitter, there's crimes going on. There's crimes up in court that are heinous crimes against children, against society as a whole. So not just against one child. If you do something to a child, it's against society. It's against all of society. You're an enemy of society, really, in that regard. If you do anything to a child, anything like that, or anything to an elderly person, you really are an enemy of the society. And the thing is, we're becoming too immune to this. What I mean by that is that people are not taking it in. They're looking at it, they're hearing about it. But it doesn't invoke a reaction, what I'm trying to say, because people are that used to it. Years ago, people be asking for people to go to the guillotine, to be totally honest. Nowadays, people bat the eyelid, it's just a normal thing. You hear it every day. I know people, there's this murder, there's that murder in this country. You hear it in the news every evening. There's this mode and people are becoming immune to it, pretty much. What I mean to say that people are pretty much saying this is a part of life, this is okay, everything's fine, and not thinking about it. And again, these are innocent people. A lot of people that are getting killed and murdered and attacked, and God only knows what, because there's that much heinous stuff been happening, and people are coming immune, and people bat no eyelids to it. Like the last week, there's probably been about 15, 20 murders in this country. Young women, some young men too. And not a word about it really. There's a word about it maybe in the news, but that's it. But what I'm trying to say, society, Irish society, and across the Western world too, we're becoming too normalised to this, to crime and stuff, and to things against children. We see the other day, Judge Nolan strikes again. He lets every paedophile off. We nearly should look into him, to be told honestly, because he's letting every paedophile off from that's going up to court, to the High Court. You had 3,000 images of inappropriate images of children. Got a fully suspended sentence, not 1 day in prison. 3 years fully suspended, not 1 day in prison. And society's just like, this is okay. That's not okay. It isn't okay, because that man is a danger to society. So that he shouldn't be out in the street. He should be locked away for 4 or 5 years. Oh, even better again, 10 to 15 years. But even if he could get that 3 years, he'd be out of society for a while. But what I'm trying to say is that society is becoming too immune to this. That we don't bat an eyelid, people don't take action on it. And the state's not taking action, but it's the sad reality of it. So many people are losing their lives. We see a boy was stabbed there the other day in Dublin, 11 years old. We don't know all the details around it. But what I'm trying to say is, this is normal. This is something that people should be shouting from the rooftops. Because we can't let people just become immune and no emotion. Because that's the thing. People don't have emotions. People become so normalised that don't have emotions. They don't have feelings. It's just a regular occurrence. Because you know yourself, you go to work every morning. It's the normal thing. It's a routine. It's pretty much what's happening now at the moment in this country. Murder, stabbings. It's becoming routine at this stage. And it's a part of the Irish nitty style, I suppose you would call it, at this point. Because people are that normalised. They're like the only Joe on the street is that normalised. I take notice of it. I often, hundreds of times, talk about these things because they need to be talked about. Because it's far too much crime. People are afraid. And people just it's becoming normalisation, normalised. And it's a very bad thing for society when we see that people know this is normalised, the violence and killing, the murders, and God only knows what else. But it's an issue for all of society when we see that, because people should be literally up in arms over some of the crimes that's literally happened the last few weeks in this country. And not even that, the last few years. And people just become immune to it. People forget about it. They listen to it for a day and then forget about it. It doesn't make any sense. It really, really does. But that's because the media, the mainstream media, our government, our politicians are just kind of dumbing it down to try and make sure there's not a public reaction. Like there's not huge outrage. There's not a huge uproar. As there should be in many cases I could talk about. There should be literally protests in the streets every day of the week, to be totally honest. In some of these cases, what's happening. Like in Cavan there just the other day, up in the district court, somebody who broke the law, done a heinous crime. Pretty much another suspended sentence. Got a few years in prison, but another suspended sentence. It doesn't fit the crime that he done. He broke the house with a gun and stuff like that, and doesn't fit the crime, the punishment, what I'm trying to say. And people just normalise it, and that's the thing. And it's a shocking thing in society when you see that. And I do think we have to get out of that. We really, really do have to get out of it, because we should be more particularly when it's children, as I say, because if you attack a child or do anything to a child, you are attacking society. Not just that child, you're attacking every member of society. And it's up to the members of society, because the government don't care, the Gaudi don't care. It's up to only Irish people like myself and other people to speak. Because again, at the end of the day, if you say nothing, it's going to happen again. It keeps going to happen. It's only when you speak up and use your voice that something can change. But this is the thing, we're coming too immune to it. We have to try and get out of this, that people becoming too, it's just another thing. It's just another thing on the news, pretty much. Another thing on the paper for a day, and then it's forgotten about. Because there's far too many young people particularly losing their lives to violence, to stabbings, to other stuff, and it has to stop. It really, really has to stop if we want to have a functioning society. Even though Irish society is not functioning because people are afraid to leave their own house. We need to look at it. We need to try and do something about it. Because we can't have society just immune to these things. Heinous things happen. Evil deeds happening in the society. And people don't bat an eyelid to it. And it really, really has to change. Because if we ever want something to change in this country, that's the only way to do it. That people actually care. That it's literally an innocent person. People been stabbed and stuff. People should care. People should be up in arms over it. But nowadays it's just a common thing. I know even just the last point I make. I know even people at work. I'd be often talking about what's happened in the country in the last 24 hours, during break and stuff like that. And they'd be like, oh, yeah, I heard that on the news the other day, but what can you do? That's the main thing you hear in this country. And I often say to myself, but what can you do? Because at the end of the day, you can't be everywhere. You can't stop everything that happens. But what I'm trying to say is the justice system, the media and stuff, pretty much let it happen pretty much in the way. But let me know what you think, because again, society is becoming too immune to violence. That's what I take. So let me know what you think. I know a lot of people would agree on that. Thank you.